Just want to say here's a demo for the Access database assignment here for the spring 2020. We're going to be making a database for a high school reunion, and I actually, for this, will actually be using names and all that out of students who I graduated with way back in 1976. So we're going to start off here. We're going to exit here out of PowerPoint. And we go into Access. Don't save. So then I'm going to go over here to Access 365. And you choose a blank database here initially, and then you want to make sure you know where you save it. So in this case, I'm saving it out here in a couple of in a folder subdirectory where I know where it is. And so here we have it, and I'm going to give it a name. Instead of database 1, I'm going to say FBCS Reunion YouTube. So I choose OK, and then I hit Create. And so now you see where you have your main table and all that, your main page. And we're going to add over here tables, queries, and reports. And I'm going to reduce our size here a little bit. The biggest thing on your database is setting it up. Once you get your table set up correctly, then everything else works. So you notice you have different forms of values. We're going to have every field is going to be generally short text, except for, in our case, the number coming to the dance party, whichever you want to call it, and the number coming to the picnic. So right up here, I'm going to choose click to add short text, and our first one is going to be our alumni name. And then we hit tab, and then our next field is the address, so we choose short text. And then next will be the city, short text. So replace field 1 with city. Oops. And then we go over here next, click to add short text, state. And then next is going to be our zip code. Now remember and make the zip code character, short text, otherwise it won't put a comma between. So then we're going to say zip, and we hit tab, and we're going to have the spouse here for field 1. And then we're going to have our 2 numeric fields. We're going to have our num for the dance. So we're going to have our number here, so we'll just call that num dance. And you notice because we made it a 0, a numeric, then our first entry is a 0. Then we come over here, click to add number, and we're going to say num picnic. And so we can come through here, and we can actually, just like in the spreadsheet, we can come over, and don't worry about the ID, that's just an internal one there. For access, we can increase our field width. We don't need much room for the zip. And the spouse name, we're going to increase a little bit. And so we're going to come back in here. And so right here is if you get this initial setup on your table where you have up here on the same row as ID, your alumni name, your address, city, state, zip, spouse, and they have number dance as a numeric and picnic as a numeric, you'll be in good shape. If somehow you mess one of them up, you can go back and add it again and then delete type of deal and take care of it there. So that is how you set up. So once you get your table set up, then you are ready to go through and start entering your names. So and you make a mistake, just you move back to that cell as such. And I'm going to show up at the picnic, but not the dance. And then I could put, you know, another person in. And I don't know where he lives. He lives in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know what the zip code is. Yeah, he's got a spouse of some type. I'm going to say Mary. I don't remember. I haven't seen Lee in about 20 years, and they're coming to the dance, and they're coming to the picnic. So you just go through and enter about a dozen records. As I say, entries. These can be actual people you graduated from. I actually pulled out my old First Baptist from 1975-76 student directory, and you'll see that in a minute. And so you can use actual people, cartoon characters. I used to say you could use the first 10 names in the phone book, but very few people have a phone book anymore. So I'm going to just rename this table as, say, changes, yes, and I'm going to give it a name as table 1, not table 1, alumni table. And so that would take care of that. And I'm going to switch databases here real quick. And I'm going to go out here to File, Open, because there is nothing that y'all need to look at there. And I'm going to click on my table. And so here you see where I have some of my fellow graduates that I'd already typed in. And I'm going to go down here and put Lee in. Type of deal. So that's where we stand on that. So once you've got your table working, then you notice you're going to print out 5 reports. So you go up here under Create, and you're going to use the Report Wizard for all 5 of these. Do not worry if things are a little truncated off or whatever. They will, that's okay. So we choose Report Wizard, and we're going to have right here just our table. When we do some queries for number 3 and number 5, then we'll talk about choosing queries rather than tables. So you notice for this first report, we want the alumni name, so we click on alumni name, hit our left arrow, we want address, city, state, and zip code. And so then we choose next. And we're not going to group or otherwise, so here for several of these, you're just going to say next. Make sure you say adjust field width so all fields fit on a page. And you might want to go to landscape where it prints it out better, but as I say, and we're going to change it up here to name Fort 1 alumni list, and you just want to preview it and hit finish. Do not go in and try and modify it. So here you see your lovely report type of deal, and then if you wanted to print it, you just hit print over here and it'll print it out for you. When you're finished, you can just close print preview, ignore this page here, and just exit. So notice for number 2, we want just the alumni name and their spouse. So we go back here to create, report wizard, alumni name, there, spouse, there, and notice it doesn't matter, and I'll go back here in a minute, next. Let's sort them here, who cares, you don't have to sort, but whatever you want to do. Sort by alumni name, next, we'll let it be portrait, no, we'll do landscape, adjust field width, next, we're going to call it report 2, alumni and spouse, preview, and there you have it. Okay? Then you just go over here, hit print, close print preview, ignore this. You don't want to get into modifying the report design. It will make you, it'll drive you nuts for right now. So our third report, notice, is just the list of the adults who are coming to the party only. Because remember out here under our table, you had some people in party dance, same thing, who aren't coming. Myself, Layton's moved, I think, up to Wyoming, somewhere up there I heard. So anyway, so you can go out, and first thing you want to do is create a query. Now folks, you're going to use Simple Query Wizard. So you choose Query Wizard, Simple Query, right there. And choose OK. So we're going to use our table to get our values from. And remember, for this one, we're going to have the alumni name, the spouse, and the number coming to the dance. So we choose alumni name, there. We choose spouse, there. And we have num dance, there. So we have those 3 fields, the alumni name, the spouse, and the num coming to the dance. And we choose next. Let it show every record. Next. Now folks, right here is where you've got to pay attention. So we're going to call this dance, Query. And then you're going to go down here and click modify the report. So when you get here to the yellow box, you put your name of it here, in this case dance, and choose modify the query design right there, and then you choose finish. And then you're going to get this screen here. So you come over, and under alumni name right here, num dance right there, under criteria we're going to say greater than or equal 1. So to run your query, the first thing you do is you create your criteria of it being greater than or equal 1, and then in a second you're going to come up here and you're going to hit run right there type of deal. So I move up here, I hit run, and it produces just a list of those who are coming to the dance. Then I can save that. Save changes, yes. So then, and I want to do my report, I go back out to Create, Report Wizard. But instead of my alumni table, I'm going to use my dance query. And I want to put all 3 fields in there, so I can use my double arrow. Next, next, next. So we're going to give it a report. We're going to say report 3. Dance list. And then I can click on to finish. And as I say, if it doesn't truncate something off, don't worry about it. And then we could choose that. And we could choose, get rid of that. There we are. And then we could come back here and exit here. You want to say changes? Yes. Okay. So then our 4th printout we're going to do is just a master list of the alumni name, who's coming to the number to the dance, and the number to the picnic. So we choose Report Wizard, alumni table, our alumni name, our num dance, and our number for the picnic. Next, next. That's fine. We'll go back to our landscape right here. Next. And we're just going to say this master list, report 4 master list. And we choose finish. And there we have our listing there. We could come over here and hit print. You might not be able to see print, but it's right there on the screen. And close print preview and exit there. And then the last report we're going to make is a list of just those coming to the picnic. And we're going to do it very similarly. So the first thing we do is go out to Create, Query Wizard, Simple Query. Okay, so we're going to have alumni name, spouse, and num picnic. Excuse me. So then we're going to show all of our detail, and we're going to change this to picnic query. Then we come down and modify the design, just as we did earlier. Finish. We're going to say right here, criteria, greater than or equal 1 for those coming to the picnic. And then we say up here, we hit our red exclamation mark to run our query. And there it is. And then we can close. Do we want to save? Yes. Then we're going to print out one last report. So we go over here to Report Wizard. We choose not our table of everybody, but our picnic query. Oops. Choose all 3 fields. Next. Not going to group. anything like that. Not going to store it. We'll go back to our landscape. Next. And we're going to change this to report 5. Picnic list. And I say, don't worry if num picnic is truncated off, whatever. I'm not worried about that. And then we can close print preview and exit there. Well, of course, the nice thing about the database is we can go through and we could add people to it at any point. So you could come back in and, I don't know, let me see who else. Suddenly we had sent in their reservation, they were late. So I'm going to see who came in late here. Oh, Milo. She moved to Tennessee. And I don't know where she lives. We'll say Nashville, Tennessee. And she and her husband are coming to the dance. We don't know what his name is. We're just going to say Joe. And both of them are coming to the picnic. And we don't know what Nashville's zip code is. So I could choose alumni table. We've added her. I go back to our report number 1 of everybody. And you notice that because we've updated the database, it's added Milo down there. So that's the 5 reports that you're to create. So then we're calling this alumni printout, yeah. So the other thing I want you to do is to create a form letter and mailing labels. So you go out to Word, and you choose blank document, but you then go here to the mailing section, and you're going to choose Start Mail Merge. Right there, letters. And we're going to write this as a formal letter per se, so we're going to say select recipients, use an existing list, and you go out to documents, no, I'm backed up, I'm off here. Class examples. Remember to know where you had it. Just solid. No, that's not the one. Select recipients, use existing list, documents, 115, class examples, Okay. It put it out here in my main folder. That's okay. And then we're going to use table. So we choose our table. And then we go out here to insert merge field. So we choose alumni name and insert merge field, spouse. So there in your letter, when you start putting your merge fields in, then you notice it's going to put them in the little double arrow bracket things, and that's where you want it to sub. Then we do insert merge field, address, enter. Insert merge field, city, comma, space, space, oops, comma, space, space. Insert merge field, state, space, space. Insert merge field, zip. And hit enter. Oops. Insert merge field, zip. And so then we're going to say, dear, insert merge field, alumni name. And I will say right now, if they don't have a spouse, you're going to see a dangling and sign here on the address in a minute. Don't worry about it. So you write your letter. Can you believe it's been 44 years since we graduated? Have you been by the school to see the old high school building has been torn down and is now a parking lot? And so we're going to say, events, put a paragraph here about, 11:30, whoops, picnic at Betty, Virginia. (2:30) tour of school. 6:30 party / dance at Eastridge. Cost $100 for a couple. See you then, etc., etc. So now, once you've done your initial letter, then I want you to come over here and just go out here to File, Print It, type of deal. And then to actually put your names in, you do Preview Results. And notice you can just click through each of these, and it's going to insert them so you can look at them, what they look like. And then if you go over here to Finish and Merge, you can do Print Documents, and depending on what I've told you in class, you can either print the current one, all of them, whatever. So you can just choose print right there and it'll print them out for you, but since I don't have a printer connected, we're not going to do that. File, save as. So that's how to do a form letter. Let's say once you get up here with your field names, then everything works real nice. So file, in this case, close, and save changes, yes. Then the other part is I want you to do mailing labels. You go here to new, blank document, and you choose under mailings, start mail merge. You don't use envelopes or labels over here. Start mail merge, labels. And a window is going to pop up showing you a whole bunch of different manufacturers and their different labels that are already pre-built in here. 3M, you know, you've got them, everything, anything you want. I have always stuck with Avery U.S. letter and the 18660 when these are semi in somewhat order. Oops. $18,660. Okay. So then you go back out here to select recipients, use existing list, documents, I don't know how it wound up in this main folder. Use our table, come back in here, insert merge field, alumni name, space, and space, insert merge field, spouse. Now say, don't worry if they don't have a spouse that you wind up with a dangling ampersand, that's okay. Address, enter, third line, insert, city, comma, space, space, insert merge field, state, space, space, insert merge field, zip, and there you have your initial thing there. Then if you come over here and click on update labels, you're going to see where it'll put it on all of them. And then if I click here to preview results, there you have everybody's mailing label, and then if you just hit print, it'll print them out. Don't worry about the trailing ands on the end. Just hit print documents, all, and that's all you got to do there. So we'll save this out here and save as. We'll go back out here to class name, labels. and it saved it out there for us. So that is how you create the mailing labels and form letters for your database assignment. So hopefully this will help you be able to do these assignments easier. So that's everything on that. I'm going to stop the recording, and if you have any questions, give me a call.